we saw some good performances from some individuals in the England team.
I can add to it, Nat, that the Belgium team that played against Ireland was a lot more weakened, and Belgium looked a lot better against England with a fuller squad, or certainly a better starting lineup of more. I mean, the ball from Lukaku for Trossard goal. What a ball that was. You know, he's been questioned, Lukaku, for his commitment and his desire to play at Stamford Bridge and what's happened to him in recent years. He was a £100 million player not so long ago. And he's got qualities. Lukaku needs to... I don't think at times I've seen him be fit. And I say that as bog standard, as a given. Do you know what? Big centre forwards that ain't in super condition, struggle, can look lethargic. I've been there.
Of course.
You know, when you're not on top of your physical condition, I don't think Lukaku has been, but when he is, he's a completely different player.
Do you think he can come back to Chelsea? Because he's on loan again.
Well, he's still got another 2 years to go on his contract.
Yeah.
No, I think that ship sailed. Yeah, I think that's... And the fact also is that Chelsea fans don't seem too enamoured with Lukaku's behaviour or his lack of ambition to start a club that gave him a 5-year deal. I'm not sure Chelsea fans would want to see him back again because, you know, anyone who tells you they want to go and play elsewhere, I get it sometimes, but he was privileged to go back to Chelsea for £100 million and he fell well short of expectation there. Let's just say that.
Even though he scored 18 goals for Roma this season, he scored 26 in total.
Yeah, he's
Belgium games there as well.
Well, look at. I mean, what? How many goals he got international? Is he on 80 odd? Isn't he?
Belgium's leading goal scorer.
I think he's on 80 odd. You know, which is incredible, and he's got goals everywhere in his career. But Lukaku has to be fit, and he hasn't been.
It's 83 in 113 games.
83. So I said I knew he was in the 80s. That's an amazing record.
Yeah.
But I watched him in Qatar, and he was sort of way off his game. Belgium had a really poor World Cup, obviously, in Qatar. So a top player if he's absolutely at his peak condition, yeah. So
you're saying that the Belgium side we saw on Tuesday was a stronger team than the one against the Republic of Ireland on the Saturday.
Yeah.
Obviously, we saw changes to the England side, and you could argue that obviously England didn't play their full strength 11 because there was no Harry Kane, Bukayo Saka, for example, just two players not involved. But a certain Ivan Toney, though, he started up front for England, scored his first goal as well from the penalty spot. Did his performance show that he's worthy of perhaps being in Gareth Southgate's Euro squad?
I'll take him anyway. What I've said. I'm taking Toney anyway, and I'm taking Ollie Watkins, and I'm taking Harry Kane. I would want as many options as I can, and also someone that can just unsettle the apple cart. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. As in his style. He causes problems, and he's brilliant at doing it. And he has a swagger. I've always said the one thing that stands out for me about Ivan Toney is he actually believes he can deliver. And he's gone all through levels from League One to Championship to Premier League. He's achieved everything through his attitude, as in his confidence of himself. And he's put on an England shirt. Didn't know how to place at all. Thought he'd done quite well in the game. It was a difficult game, but he done as well as could be expected. Yeah. And he offers something very different.
It was interesting. I was at the Thomas Frank press conference yesterday ahead of Brentford's game with Manchester United later on tonight, live on talkSPORT. And he was asked about, bear in mind he's worked with Ollie Watkins, he's worked with Ivan Toney, so, you know, what would he do in this situation? And he said, it's like asking me to pick between my two sons, he said, it's impossible. But he was saying what you said, why not take both? What's the problem with taking both?
I find it hard, this conversation, where people think you can't take one more forward when you're trying to win a competition. If you're saying, well, we don't want to lose it, I could understand taking more defenders, but you're trying to win it. So if you're winning it, you want as much choice in forward areas to players who give... You might come up against an opposition in that and go, I might have to play Toney. I might have to use him from the bench. I might have to stick him on in a certain type of game which he would have an impact in, or you believe he would. Yeah. So have that choice. Have it.
It's just who you pick that one extra striker in place of, I suppose. And that's something Gareth Southgate's talked about, you know, maybe he has to think of players that might have a bit more versatility in their game so that if it does mean he picks three strikers, he can have someone that can do a few other jobs within the squad choice.
I want someone who can do the job.
Okay, fair enough. But did you see that Gareth Southgate mentioned that he and I think a few other international managers have said that they want UEFA, and I think UEFA said they might consider this, increasing the squad to 26 rather than the 23 that we have been expecting. Now, what does that tell you? Does that tell you that maybe Gareth Southgate thinks, like, I've got so many options, I need more, I need more in my squad? Or is it he's actually thinking, I don't know who to pick here, and I'd rather have a 26-man than a 23-man squad, just because then I can have 3 extra that I wouldn't necessarily normally have?
Well, it suits the leading countries with the best amount of players.
Yeah.
The depth of players in, Spain, France, Italy, England. That gives them more choice, a bit more safety net. I get it also with the injuries, because we had this conversation last week. That injuries are everywhere, and you're going to lose at least 2 or 3 players that won't be travelling, I guarantee, to the Euros in the summer. Whoever that is, I guarantee there's always 2 or 3 that won't make it because they get an injury late on in the season that will affect their Euros.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.